What is up, people? Miles here with Keep the Change, and if you're like me, you've probably been playing a lot of Cyberpunk recently, and I'm actually wondering, should I invest in the company that made this game, CD Projekt Red, because their stock is actually down 30% from December 4th, which could actually turn out to be a very profitable investment. And guys, make sure to stay tuned till the end of this video because I'm going to be giving away a copy of Cyberpunk 2077. So if you want to actually know how to win the giveaway, make sure to stay till the end. I have instructions there, so hopefully somebody wins. CD Projekt Red is a Polish video game developer which actually released a critically acclaimed game called The Witcher 3 back in 2015. It was an amazing RPG, everybody loved it, critical acclaim across the board. Although I've never dived deep into the game myself, I've had a lot of my true gamer friends tell me that this is one of the best RPGs they have ever played and one of the best games of this decade. And that's absolutely proved by the fact that Witcher 3 has actually sold more than 28 million copies to date in the past 5 years, so obviously those are really amazing sales. However, the true reason that this company has been in the spotlight recently is because of their new release Cyberpunk 2077, which is one of the most ambitious RPG games that I have seen quite literally ever. This game is one of the most hyped games that I have seen in recent history without a doubt. There's so many advertisements in over 55 countries, which is crazy, so this thing is global. It's not just in North America, it's not just in Poland, it's everywhere. With a bunch of gamers talking about this game, it's reached like maximum hype, it's got a ton of popularity, and it's also got Keanu Reeves in it, so the hype is really real. It was first announced in 2012, so 8 years ago at this point. Actually was meant to come out in spring of 2020, but it got delayed like 3 or 4 times. It actually got delayed so many times to the point where it became a meme. But the game finally came out this last week on December 10th of 2020, so it's actually finally here. And at first, the reviews were really good because all the reviewers basically had to play the PC version. However, there's a lot of bugs on the console version, so the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. For these versions, they're extremely buggy and practically unplayable. It's actually ridiculous. CD Projekt Red got so much hate that they called a shareholder meeting and were pretty much trying to save face and trying to let their shareholders know that it's all okay, it's going to be good. So I figured we would take a look into what they had to say on this whole debacle. So let's just read one of their quotes here. They said, "We released Cyberpunk 2077 4 days ago on December the 10th. The game had a strong opening, and we've got positive feedback from players enjoying it on stronger machines, PCs, and next-gen consoles and Stadia. But the initial feedback from those playing it on the oldest last-gen consoles is way below our expectations." And believe it or not, this actually became such an issue that PlayStation has removed it from its digital marketplace. So you can no longer buy Cyberpunk on the PlayStation Store because it's such a broken game. On top of that, PlayStation is issuing refunds to a bunch of people who don't feel satisfied with the product that they got since they feel it is so utterly broken. And CD Projekt Red basically responded to all this criticism saying that their fix for all the bugs on the last gen consoles are that they're going to put out a patch, so they're going to fix the game slowly but surely. Now, this is a good thing that they're trying to keep the customers who already bought the game happy. However, their reputation has also got tarnished, so that kind of calls into question how many people are going to buy this game because there's so much bad press about it. So that's a lot of negatives for the company currently in the short term. However, there's also some positive news as well. There's an upside to this, which is the fact that this is the biggest PC launch title of all time. On top of the fact that they've actually made all their money back from making the game already in the first couple days. So in this first week, they're already break even for the game, which is awesome because in the following months, sales are going to be all profit. However, this does not account for refunds, and there's definitely going to be a lot of refunds for this game, so that's just something to keep in mind. And now that we've talked about the recent release, the kind of big idea stuff, I want to get into their financials a little bit more. And if you look at the past 5 years for their revenue, it's been kind of stagnant slash fluctuating. They haven't had a ton of revenue or profit growth since 2015, which isn't the best sign, but they have remained profitable, which I'm a fan of. I like my companies to be profitable, so I do appreciate that about this business. In 2015, they made 798 million Polish dollars, which equals around 222 million US dollars. That makes 2015 their best year in the past 5 years, which does make sense just because that's when The Witcher 3 came out. That was a smash hit. hit. So obviously they were going to have a huge sales boost in that year, on top of the fact that they haven't really had a major release since that year besides Cyberpunk. When The Witcher 3 actually came out, they sold around 7 to 8 million units in 2015 entirely. And if you look at Cyberpunk, they've sold that in pretty much the first week alone, which is absolutely crazy. 8 million copies of Cyberpunk being sold is around $500 million in revenue US. If you compare that to GTA 5, which was pretty much the biggest game in its day, that sold around $800 million in its first day. So this game is extremely comparable and almost as big as one of the biggest games ever, GTA 5. So obviously the sales for this company is looking extremely promising, extremely good. However, if we want to actually buy the stock, we have to look at the valuation. CD Projekt Red stock here today has a market cap of $8 billion, which is a sizable amount. It's got a PE of 100, which is higher than Amazon's, just to put that into perspective. However, the forward PE is extremely low. It's extremely cheap. It's at around 18, which is awesome. That's a great number you want to see for a high growth company. Obviously, Cyberpunk, the sales in the next year should make it extremely profitable. And personally, when I look at a company, I like to look more at the forward projections more than the past, just because investing is more about the future. It's more about the prospects of what's going to happen to this company in the near future rather than what's happened in the past. So looking at it through that lens, you can see that this company is actually probably a bargain at these prices. Since you're not only buying a company which owns the Witcher franchise, which is extremely big, they also own Gwent, which is like a card game, a card app game, really popular actually. They own GOG, which is their own Steam kind of thing. It's their own website to purchase games. And then on top of all of that, they own Cyberpunk as well. So obviously this game could be the next GTA 5. You know, that's high sales, that's high estimates, but it could be. Now, obviously Cyberpunk has gotten off to an extremely rocky start, but I do think it has a lot of potential here. They have multiplayer, which people are very excited about. They're going to release patches, so hopefully people have a nice playing experience and don't have a lot of bugs. People are still excited about this game as well. The hype is real, and on top of that, they released in the holiday season. There's no better time to release. A lot of people are going to be buying this game for Christmas. However, with all that being said, I do think the sales in the beginning, like this first quarter here, could be a little underwhelming compared to what analysts were expecting. I do think it will get better in 2021. I think sales will pick up a lot then once they release these patches and sort of fix the game here. However, their reputation as a company is kind of tarnished at this point with gamers. But from a financial perspective, I think 2021 is going to be amazing for them. I think it's going to be even better than 2015 when they released The Witcher 3. Now, if you actually want to buy this company, you can't be in like Robinhood or something. You have to be in a real broker like Fidelity or TD Ameritrade or one of those type of sorts, and you have to go on the over-the-counter market because this is a Polish type stock. You could buy this stock under the ticker OTGLY, and I think it's around $22 a share here. Personally, if I was on Fidelity, I actually would buy the stock. I do think the risk reward is very intriguing here. Obviously though, I'm not a financial advisor. Look into these companies yourself, whether or not you want to invest in them, but personally, I would buy it. I do think it's a very good play. Now to get to the part that people were probably waiting for, I'm going to be giving away a copy of Cyberpunk 2077, and to enter this giveaway, you only need to do 2 requirements. The first requirement is you leave a comment on this video. You can say whatever you want, I don't even care, but just remember, if you leave a comment at the very end of it, leave 2 exclamation points. So for example, if I said that Keep the Change was the best channel on YouTube, it would not get entered in the giveaway. But if I said Keep the Change is the best channel on YouTube and I put an exclamation point and another exclamation point, I would be entered in the giveaway. And the only other requirement is that you subscribe to the channel, and I have no way to verify this, so I'm just gonna have to take your word for it. But whoever leaves a comment with 2 exclamation marks, I will leave a reply to you and I will tell you whether or not you won the giveaway. So if nobody does this, obviously I'm not going to give it away, but if you're the only one to do it, I will give you a copy of Cyberpunk 2077. That is on my mom, that is on my life, okay? I'm not lying. So yeah guys, make sure to enter yourself in the giveaway, like the video, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I love you.